Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast, the first official weather forecast of 2017 from Market Journal. And during this last week, we did see one system that impacted the state, brought snowfall to the southern half of the Panhandle and most areas south of Interstate 80 from southwest Nebraska through southeast Nebraska. The farther north you move from Interstate 80 in these regions, the less snowfall you got, such that north central and northeast Nebraska were left high and dry. General snowfall coverage of 1 to 3 inches was common in south central, southeast Nebraska. As you got into west central and the southern half of the Panhandle, we're basically looking at 3 to 6 inches of total liquid equivalent moisture, range anywhere from 5/100ths of an inch in that 1 inch area to up to 1/4 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch in portions of the Panhandle. So this is very, very welcome moisture for some drier areas of the state. But we also see this type of pattern off and on during the month of December. Some areas left high and dry, others received copious moisture, particularly with that late post-Christmas storm. And so we see much of the area of east central Nebraska up through the Omaha area, Lincoln area, basically in the area of 1 inch of moisture to 1.5 inches of moisture, some pockets of 1/2 inch to 1 inch in south central Nebraska, and then the western Panhandle is the same thing. Areas in white, less than 1/2 inch. Now we have a series of storms that are coming into the western United States that could actually pump our totals up late next week, and the first system will actually push this ridge into the center part of the country this weekend as this system comes on shore and brings significant moisture to California. The exiting storm that just impacted us will move up the eastern seaboard this weekend and give them a pretty decent shot of snow, but this ridge will translate into our region and start to flatten out on Monday, leaving Pacific air in its place, and we'll be looking at highs that will be primarily upper 30s to the low 40s, and then another system starts to energize over the central United States and starts to move rapidly toward the northeast, bringing snowfall basically from Iowa and points eastward. And then we have a series of storms moving in this southwesterly to northwest flow. There's no moisture to work with, so it's just basically high clouds. And yet this last system is the one we'll pay attention to. That system dives into southern California and starts to eject out into the central plains. We have the potential for a significant weather maker at some point in the central United States. And in terms of precipitation, what we are looking for is a significant increase in precipitation in the western United States. As these systems come on board, almost every day we're going to see 2+ inches of moisture with these systems. And high elevation snows, we might be talking about the equivalent of 25 inches of moisture in the Lake Tahoe region, although I think it's probably a little bit overdone. We're still looking at 15 to 20 inches probably. And you can see that just a series of systems keep moving on board, and this final system kind of moves out into the central and southern Rockies, and this is a system to pay attention to for next weekend. In terms of next weekend through the following Tuesday, we're looking at above normal temperatures of the southeastern half of the United States, below normal in the Pacific Northwest, so there's a good confluence zone for the system to work on. And in terms of precipitation, heavy precipitation once again for the western United States and the eastern Corn Belt. Lesser chances here in the central United States, although I think that this may verify out if that system does take its present path.